All right, boys, we rolling. Namaste. Welcome to my yoga meditation retreat. Today we will be doing deep breathing techniques to reach inner peace and open your third eye. Psych. We will be talking about nicotine and how this is the leap humanity has to take as a whole in order to reach enlightenment and enter a new realm of human consciousness. Now, what is nicotine? Nicotine is a pesticide produced by the tobacco plant in order to kill off the bugs that try to eat it. Just like caffeine is a pesticide that the coffee plant uses, I guess, so that if a bug tries to eat it, it gets this crazy ass head rush and then dies. Dude, if I was a bug, I would love to overdose on nicotine and die because what other options do you have? You will be you will be eaten by something else, like an eagle. I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of getting eaten by something else. I don't know, that just doesn't rub me the right way, if you ask me. That's just not my thing. Um, Anyways, now, what forms of nicotine consumption are there? Well, there's the good old cigarette, the good old classic. So, what are the benefits? Now, the biggest benefit I would say is that you look badass. You look like Thomas Shelby, bro. You look like you've gone through war, torture, pain, humiliation, but you're here. You're here and you're smoking a cigarette. That is badass. That is pretty badass, dude. You see someone at night, late at night, in the rain, in the middle of a forest. It's cold, it's windy, it's raining, and they're smoking a cigarette. Dude, that gives off like a mysterious vibe to that person, right? Like, I definitely see the appeal. Yet, now let's get to the drawbacks. I don't see the appeal in inhaling 7,000 different chemicals, 70 of which are carcinogens, which will at any given point ionize a cell, causing mutations and therefore cancer. That doesn't stick with me either. I would choose for that not to happen if it were up to me. So, that's the drawback of tobacco. It's the unhealthiest option out of all the options to consume nicotine. Now, what other options are there? There's vapes. Now, with vapes, the science isn't clear. So, as a professional scientist of the University of Zentology, I will recommend you stay away from this new technology because, the science isn't clear. And you don't know what's going to happen to you in 20 years if you keep on inhaling this weird fume that comes out of an electronic device. It That's one of the drawbacks. Second drawback, it looks way less badass. It's just, you ever see a grown ass man, like 40 years old, hitting a vape in the street, blowing this giant cloud into some grandma? That just gets you thinking, like, dude, grow up. Grow up. Either you smoke a cigarette or you do anything else, but die like a man is supposed to. What is this vaping stuff? It's ridiculous. Now, I have experimented with it, and it's quite alright. But I haven't done it for over a year now, and I'm pretty sure I've hit one like a couple months ago, and you can instantly feel the cancer entering your body. You can instantly feel everything burning from the inside out, and you only notice that if you've stayed away from it for a while. So yeah, um, I I would suggest you stay away from it. It's nasty stuff. Um, yeah. What other options are there? What other options are there? Now, there's the good old pouch, the good old nicotine pouch, right? You All you do is like squeeze it, make it smooth, make it pretty, and then you put it under your lip, as I just have, and then you're buzzing, and then you're like Buzz Lightyear, dude. And you know, what are the benefits of that is that it doesn't rot your teeth. Uh, it doesn't like it does rot your teeth and your gums, but if you're doing white nicotine pouches, you will still not look like a vitamin C deprived pirate, which is always something to aspire towards, I believe. Um, what other benefits are there? Now, it's super discreet. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in school. You can do it on the bus and the train, and no one's gonna complain because you're not harming anyone. You're not bothering anyone. You're just, leading your own happy little druggy experience, and nobody gets hurt, right? Um, and yeah, and instead of a bunch of byproducts entering your body through like they do with other forms of consumption, here you just get the pure molecule. And if the pure nicotine molecule is what you desire, as most nicotine users do, then I can only recommend snus because it is just the pure molecule entering your body, and you know it's the safest form of consumption that has been proven by science, I guess. And from my own experience, I would say my body feels the best when this is what I'm doing. Yeah. Now, you, yeah, exactly. You put this under your lip, and then it gets absorbed through your stomach. The saliva brings it down to your stomach, and then it circulates all over your body, gets passes the blood brain barrier, and then you're buzzing, and then you get a nice little head rush, and it's truly miraculous. What also ends up happening with nicotine in general, though, is you build a tolerance, as you do with any other substance, over time, because you have nicotinic receptors in your brain, and if you give them nicotine, only more of them grow. And then they desire more nicotine to receive the same outcome, right? What ends up happening with smokers, you know, you may have heard about it. After the first cigarette hits super hard because your body has never had that substance in it, your body doesn't know what it is. And so you have this crazy effect, and then you spend your entire life chasing that same feeling that you got for the first time, knowing damn well you're never gonna get there. Yeah, what you do is you just end up becoming an addict, and then you take it for the reason that it just relieves the withdrawal symptoms instead of giving you the benefits. So instead of it giving you superpowers like it did in the start, you're doing it just to feel normal again. And if you don't do it, you are now lower than you were initially before you started. That is the trap addicts fall into, right? Um, Now, why is it the leap humanity has to take to reach enlightenment? You are just more focused in every single way. As you know, football players consume that, and athletes do. Why do they do that? Well, it increases physical capacity by 15%, according to some study I read. That's definitely reliable. Definitely. Um, and yeah, a bunch of footballers do it. And when a bunch of footballers do it, they are increasing their mental capacity and physical capacity. But when I do it, I'm just a druggie, right? Yeah, that's kind of sussy baka. Uh, what it does is it gives you a short-term boost in your mental and physical capacity while taking away the long-term physical and mental capacity. If you lead a lifestyle which requires you to have those short term bursts of energy and concentration, then that is the lifestyle for you. If you don't have that initial craving and that initial desire, then stay away from it in general, because addiction isn't great, I guess. Uh, yeah, for real, for real. But life under nicotine is just complete. It's a complete different experience, because I am a very observing person, let's say. I notice every little detail in the way a person speaks, in their body language, and if you want me to tell you the truth, I can read minds, right? Obviously, obviously I can. And with nicotine, that power is even enhanced. So you whatever, scientists don't even know what consciousness is and where thoughts originate from, but whatever it is that consciousness is, nicotine enhances that. So you just live a version of human consciousness that is above the sober, normal um, state, right? Um, and I guess that's why people do it. Um, but what do I know? Um, yeah. What else can I say? Oh, and it increases testosterone. The pure molecule does. Tobacco doesn't, because it harms your body, because it just kills off a bunch of cells, and then your body requires energy to build back those cells, and that takes away your testosterone as a man, let's say. But the pure molecule in itself increases testosterone, believe it or not. And a bunch of guys are into that for obvious reasons. I seem to have too much of it, which is also one of the reasons why I smoke that Zaza, that devil's lettuce, that schmadonka, that reefer, as some may call it, because it decreases testosterone. And that way I'm not as crazy as I am in my sober state. I'm just more chilled out. And it also lowers your sex drive. Um, and so if you're a guy and you're ever in a situation where you're not having sex like 7 times a day, uh, which is something I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, then weed is definitely something that can work, because um, it just kills your sex drive, and then you're not horny 24/7. It's nice, because you know being horny 24/7 is not a way to lead this existence. You're not gonna create scientific breakthroughs if all you're thinking about is reproduction. However, it's still a nice topic, you know. All right, where am I going with this video? Oh yeah. Um I'm pretty sure I've talked about a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, there's also another method of nicotine consumption is hookah, or shisha as some may call it. That is probably the worst thing you can do, because you're inhaling pure tobacco without a filter, and you're inhaling it in vast amounts. And every time I've done it, the next morning I wake up and I feel my heart hurting. Like my heart genuinely hurts, because your body overnight has to clean up so many toxins, and it's exhausting for your body. So don't smoke hookah or shisha if you want to be at your peak physical and mental state, right? I use such scientific language, it's amazing. I truly explain things the way a scientist would. Yeah, For sure, for sure. Super scientific. Everything based on facts and statistics. Wow. I'm pretty sure I ran out of things to talk about. I'm pretty sure I did. Wait, let's see if I can find something in my room that's pretty cool. Um, oh, hold up. Dude, I bought this book. It's called The Empire of Pain. And it's basically about how the Sackler family took over the entire pharma industry and and they basically caused the opium crisis in America. And the way they did that is by advertising oxycodone to housewives, because if you're doing heroin the good old classic way with a needle, the whole process looks disgusting. Like, if you're doing heroin, you're a druggie, you're an addict, right? Like, you're fucked, you're a dumbass. However, and society isn't just gonna accept you. However, if you're taking a pill that was manufactured by one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in America, you know, you're you're just relieving some pain. You're just going about your day, and it doesn't have the same stigma attached to it as, you know, popping, not popping, injecting heroin, because, taking a pill looks way less dangerous than injecting something straight into your veins, when in the end, it's the same exact drug circulating through your body, and you're just as bad of a drug addict if you're taking a pill. So it just gave a bunch of people an excuse to be the drug addict they've always desired to be without getting the stigma. And that's how the opioid crisis kind of happened. If I want to sum it up for you, people got an easy way out. People got access to opium in a way which wouldn't have any stigma around it. And that gets me thinking, are we all just a bunch of druggies in our core? Are we is the monkey inside of us that's constantly screaming for cheap dopamine and instant gratification way more stronger than the rational human brain? Because as a species, you may think you're smart, you may think we've come a long way as Homo sapiens, but we're still at a very primitive stage in our evolution. And this inner monkey brain that just wants instant dopamine and instant gratification, it's so much more powerful than the rational part of your brain, whether you like it or not. Some people are scared of the fact that they're actually like a very primitive animal. And for me, that actually gives me a lot of relief, because I can't, because you can't be super harsh on yourself if you're just a primitive animal and not some super species that people believe that we are, because we clearly aren't. We are so much more primitive than we believe we are. We are still driven by our main objective, which is to reproduce. People pretend like that's not the reality, and then they will go to school to get good grades, go to college to get a degree so that they can get a good job, and then they can make a lot of money, and then they can buy a nice car and a house, and then, like, hopefully attract a mate. Like, is that not sexual symbolism to you? Isn't that sexual signaling to you? Like, you could have just admitted it right away, but yet you chose to do all those extra steps to hide your intention. Like, just tell the whole world you want to fuck. Like, come on, just be honest, you know? Um, I feel I feel like if people understood this concept, all of society would collapse, because people would realize they don't need to work hard to get um, sex, which is our main objective as human beings. Everyone could just fuck. We could just drop everything right now, drop your career, drop out of school, quit your job, and just the whole world would turn into one big orgy. That's definitely um that's definitely a world I would want to live in. However, everyone is too scared of admitting it clearly. So we have to, go to far lengths to show people what we have and what we've achieved and what we've done when we all just want to pipe. For real, we all just want to pipe. So why do the whole extra thing when we can all just pipe? You know what? I feel like this is a good ending to the story. Um, let's all just pipe. Let's all just have mass orgies. I feel like it's for the better. See you in the next one.